Those are all the speakers on the Dream Act. Any board members have any comments, questions? Garrett?
Thank you, Mr. President. Folks, as we come here this weekend and we start to celebrate the legacy and the accomplishments of Martin Luther King over this weekend, you cannot help but think about the Dream Act, and you cannot help but think about everything that Martin Luther King has did for this country and for all people throughout this particular country. And you cannot help but think what Martin Luther King or Cesar Chavez or any of our great civil rights leaders would be saying in regards to the Dream Act. This particular resolution is a must. It is something that we must do as a body to send our message to Congress. It is a must that Representative Pelosi and the other members of Congress step up to the plate and take on the responsibility and do what's right and pass the Dream Act in this country. You look at the hundreds and thousands of students that are not only going through Phoenix Union, but in high schools across this country that have worked very hard. They've accomplished wonderful things, yet they're not able to live that American dream. They're not able to go to a post-secondary education. That is unconscionable. That's unconscionable in this day of age. We should be helping our young folks reach the stars. We should be helping them go wherever they want to go and accomplish their dreams. And without passing the Dream Act in this country, we are preventing or stopping these kids from living their dreams. I have been at the Capitol with Mr. Lujan. Lujan has taken the lead on this particular issue at the state Capitol. It is very important to me and many other folks at the Capitol, and I am honored to vote yes on this particular resolution. This is something we need to do, and we need to pass it for all the students within Phoenix Union High School District. Thank you.
Mr. President, patrons of the district, bear with me. I usually sound a little better than this, but I've been giving some speeches because it's the King holiday season, and my voice is a little tired, but my soul is not weary. And let me begin by saying that Dr. King, who I did not have a chance to meet because I'm not old enough, believed that if one member of our society was in bondage, all members of our society were in bondage. And let me say that while I didn't get a chance to meet Dr. King, I got a chance to meet his best friend and his most trusted confidant, and that is Mrs. Coretta Scott King. And before we lost her in the struggle and in our movement for civil and human rights, I had a chance to sit down and talk with her. And she said, Jared, and she's one of the few people that I let call me Jared in the civil rights movement. Everybody else is forever mopping. She said, I want you to look at your mentors and look at Dr. King and the legacy that they've kept alive in there. And she said, never make the civil rights movement something that is just about black people and their struggle in America. She said, we have to go beyond what we know if we're all truly going to be free and walk in the promised land. And she made me promise her at our national convention for my organization that I would dedicate myself, and that we, and as civil rights leaders, would dedicate ourselves to expanding the fight not just for our community, but for all communities that face oppression, including undocumented people in this country, including people in the gay community. We would expand our fight to encompass all of God's children. And in keeping with that, it didn't really apply until a few days ago when I happened to be in Glendale at a rally for students that were taking a stance against Proposition 300. And when I took the stage to address the students to help them get the Dream Act, I looked in to their eyes. And I think that if we take the time to look into our students' eyes, we really can't tell the difference between a documented student and an undocumented student. that they can be successful and that their dreams are within reach. And so I'm proud to vote yes, that we send this resolution so that we do not extinguish the light in that lighthouse, so that we do not extinguish hope, but that we keep hope alive in the hearts and minds of those students. And if you close your eyes and you think about those students that came across to this country as strangers or were brought here against their will, kind of like the slaves in bondage. You see that they came here and they got a lot of nothing. And I got a lot of respect for people who can turn nothing into something. And that's what these students have done. And I can almost hear Dr. King saying that he has a dream about freedom, where Jews and Gentiles, where Protestants and Catholics, where white men and black men, where documented men and undocumented men can live together in brotherhood and in freedom. Thank you, students. You've inspired me personally to continue to fight to get us all to the promised land. I really admire each and every one of you.
Thank you, Reverend Moffett. Any other comments?
Mr. President, I'm sorry, I turned in my blue paper.
That's okay. You can do that now.
Okay.
Be bored.
After listening to him, you have to follow, huh? Good evening, members of the board. Welcome, everybody. My name is Rosa Cantu. I reside on 6616 West Holly Street, Phoenix, Arizona. I am part of the member of the community of Trevor Brown High School. And I am here tonight to invite you personally to be Trevor Brown, because I'm sure everybody heard about Trevor Brown, to be at the first campus that you visit, the first campus that you have your board meeting in the campus. There's so much need. There's so much need of your ears and your listening and your concerns. I personally invite you as a member of that community, employee of Phoenix Union High School and education. I beg you, please. Thank you.
All right, if there are no other questions or comments, we already have a motion and a second to approve the agenda item. So all in favor of the Dream Act resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed? And the item passes unanimously. Thank you.